Okay, good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. Maricar had already discussed the characteristic and skills of effective communication process. So, when you hear the effective communication, what comes in your mind? Effective communication, effective communication is defined the ability to convey information to one another effectively and efficiently. So, effective communication is less talk and more about listening. And now the continuation of effective communication, I will discuss the significance and the bearer of communication. The significance on effective communication is when you are communicating to people, you create something that builds your confidence. And by that, you are well communicating to other people. You are happy to talk to them. It signifies the following: team building, growth of organization, build strong relationship, uncertain transparency and develop trust, facilitates creativity and innovation. Next slide, Josh. So, team building. Team building, people in an organization work as a team to accomplish common goals. Thus, effective communication boosts the morale and the whole team. So, meaning is the activity na ginhimo para ang kada usa nagkakaurusa. May unity, may cooperation, nagkakaintindihan. Meaning, when you are talking to the people, mas nag-i-increase, mas nag-iiba ka, unti-unti kang matuto sa mga needs nila. Unti-unti mo sila naintindihan at napapasunod. Kung sadto, hi, hello kala, yan na, may daka na interaction, and so on. Kaya, ayun, may teamwork. Kay true communicating others, di dala nagkakamay-ada relationship. Pag may da ka relationship to one another, nag-o-open na siya or kamo san iyo life, or ibig sabihin may da kam trust san kada usa. So kailangan sa teamwork importante ang effective communication. It is because kapag may dakit effective communication, diri la mabubuligan ang team. It is also kita nga individuals. Kaya when we listen to others, bagan nagkakamay ada kit idea or knowledge how we accomplish a common goals. Is that, diba, may da kit idea because of others. So dida nagkakamay ada effective communication by listening to them. Next, Josh. So, growth of organization. To ensure better decision making, intensifies public interaction and enhance problem solving ability. All this lead to corporate growth and development. So, growth of organization. This is also important because the organization itself, diri siya mag-grow kung diri magkakamay-ada communication or effective communication. Kasi once when you are in our organization, you have to gather information from people or from your members, kasi you are not working on your own. Siring pangani, two heads are better than one. Ngan an organization, you are not just working for yourself, you are working with a team. Ngan you cannot solve a problem without communicating with others. We need to gather other information or other opinion para ma-solve ang usa na problema, para ang usa na organization mag-growth ngan magkakamay-ada development. Next, Joss. Build strong relationship. Interaction often simplifies things. They positively motivate the employees to perform better and maintain long-term relationship with others in the organization. So how can we build a relationship? example, you are working in a certain community. Kung adto ka sa community, paano ka makabuild relationship sa tao? Siring pangani ni Sir sadto sa iya before example, di ba? Makadtukit san sapa, maglalaba kit liwat didto, tas makikihampang san mga nanay na adto didto. So that's an example of building a relationship through communication. You listen to their story kung nano ang natatabo dinhi sa era barangay para makabuild ka relationship. Ngan, it is very important nga when you build a relationship, it is a long-term relationship with the people. Diri pwede nga yan kala nila tatapuran sa sunod diri na no. Pukunin mo yung loob ng tao sa community by talking to them and listening to them. Next slide. Next is a certain transparency and develop trust. Effective communication is considered to be a base for building trust and assure sharing for complete information. So this is what I have said kanina, di ba nga? For example, advocate sa community nga there are times nga magiging close ta ang mga people ngadto. Kunwari may usa na tao didto nga an iya problema sa iya kapitbahay gin-share niya sa imo. So as effective communication, magiging transparent kala. Kung may da nayayakan ng iya kapitbahay na diri mauso, ikaw gyap ang magiging moderator kala. Magyakan ka nga ay nay mali siguro ito ni mohimo diri siring na ginuugopan mo. Your job is to listen as a community worker. Waray ka ginpapanigan. You listen to the people whether what are their story or ano ang ira hinanaing. Transparent kalasan duha. Next is facilitates creativity and innovation. It creates an environment where employees are free to share their ideas by exploring their creative and innovative side. So the importance of effective communication is that kunwari there are activities like team building activities ngan you need to be creative or you need your team to be creative. Kapag may dakam communication, dida nagkakamay adakam creativity. You listen to one another kung ano ang the best dida na nga dapat nga i-apply kung ano ang best technique nga dapat iyo himuon nga magdaog ang iyo team. So dida nagkakamay ada idea, sharing idea so that they can explore their creative side. Next, Jos. Reduce misunderstanding. Effective communication eliminates the possibility of confusion and misunderstanding by conveying the message clearly and appropriately. So sometimes the lack of communication, it is cause of misunderstanding. Kunwari may nanay nga nagyakan sa imo na ang iya kapitbahay na nangunguha malunggay. So as a communicator, diri mo iton siya sulsulan nga uy ayaw awaya didto. Diri sugad iton. Dapat nang imo himon, i-push mo iton sira na mag-istorya kasi para ma-eliminate ang possibility of confusion. Nga nagkamay ada clear answers ito na problema. So that way it has reduce misunderstanding. Next choose. So barriers of effective communication. There are 3 barriers of effective communications. Barriers involving words, barriers involving people's background, and nanod tong usa. Physical barrier. Next, just slide. Barriers involving words. Next, just language. It is a medium of communication. If the sender is making excessive use of technical terms, it will become difficult to the receiver to understand the message clearly. So here are the barriers of effective communication. Like for example, you are in a community nga maaram ka nga ang community nga imo ginkadton is not all is nakagraduate og college. Ngan din you use in English. When you are speaking nga nagpara English ka ngadto, so nagkakamay ada talaga bearer kay nano kasi your listener or your audience cannot understand what you have said kasi they have difficulty in receiving the message. They cannot understand clearly. So asya iton one of example of the bearer of effective communication. Next. Ambiguity and overuse and abstraction. Even if the message is presented in non-realistic or vague context involving a lot of notion, the receiver won't be able to connect with the idea properly. So sometimes there are people or there are communicators nga they are using words nga unrealistic naman. Just like for example, nagtutok ang usa nga communicator sa iya pagtok, nagyakan siya about audit, mga counting, mga statistics, mga words nga diri naiintindihan dito sa community. Kasi nawara ka na san imo focus. Mga words nga dapat nimo gamiton para maintindihan nila or nano ang imo karuyag signgon kay syempre diri tanan dito sa community nakapagtapos di ba na eskwela, so dida nagkakamay ada communication barrier. Next. Disorganized message. When the words are not organized systematically to form a powerful message, it loses its efficiently and meaning. Kunwari may da ka didto speech sa community tapos diri ka prepare sa imo speech. Kay wara ka maka-study or may problema ka nga daradara mo. So sa imong pag-speech sa community nahumon kala diri na mao imo nayayakan na baka nawawara ka sa linya. So imo message is na disorganized, dida nagkakamay ada barrier sa communication. Kay waray na nimo na deliver ng imo message sin maupay. So make sure that your message is clear and concise, in other words. Next. Information overload. The effectiveness of communication reduces when a person keeps on speaking for an extended period, thus leading to the receiver exhaustion who won't be able to keep track or everything that is conveyed. Gumuti man Diyos. So when you are in communicating, dapat brief and concise. Diri siya halaba, diri liwat halipot. Sakto la siya para sa imo mga participant. Short talking and bounds to conversation and just clarify everything, the information para sa imo mga participant. Next, Jos. Barriers involving people's background. Next, Jos. Democratic differences. The difference in age, generation, gender, status, tradition, etc. creates a lack of understanding among people and thus hinders the process of communication. Kunwari, ang imo participant is youth, mga 18 to 30, tapos may da ka walk-in nga mga age to 15, so gaditon. So nagkamay ada talaga communication barrier kasi sometimes kapag nagde-deliver kit usa nga talk tapos ang iba diri nira ma-understand kasi kunwari ang imo talk is about teenage pregnancy tapos ang imo gin-deliver sa pagtalk is about mga sex, sugad iton nga mga butang. So nagkakamay ada barrier kasi sa imong pagtalk sa imong mga participant may da pa mga diri pagod nakaka-intindi siton kasi mga 12 years old to 15 pala sira diri pa sa ngan diri good nira nakaka-catch up itong nga kung nano ang imo ginyayakan kasi ikaw mismo nag-alang kaliot sa imo pagyakan nga mga words sana kay may da mga walk-in nga mga bata pa basta mga kabataan pa iton na meeting, so dida nagkakamay ada barrier. Next. Lack of common experience or perspective. The experience of a person develop their perspective of seeing things in a particular way. Their perspective varies from a person to person. Therefore, it's become difficult to receive or to relate, which is in their experience or views as might have never gone through it himself. Lack of common experience and perspective. So example, you are delivering a message about taking care of yourself. So paano mo ma-deliver imo message about taking for yourself nga sa imo mga audience kung ikaw mismo waray ka hito na waray himua sa imo kalagwaringon, ikaw mismo diri ka na parigo adlaw-adlaw biya ka mag-exercise, diri mo iton ma-experience o wara mo gin-adapt sa imo kalugaringon. So diri ka nira maintindihan. So di da nagkakamay adapt barrier pag sa pag-deliver sa imo message. Mas experience mo iton, kailangan mag-deliver ka message na mas maupay nga na experience mo liwat para maupay mo pag-share sa imo mga participant. Next slide. Jumping to conclusion. Some people lack of patience of listening to others and often jump to conclusion between the communication, thus neglecting to motive or the message. So this is a psychological term referring to a communication obstacle where one judging or mag-decide kadayon i-judge mo ang usa nga tawo without having a fact or without knowing it first. Parehosan akon example kanina nga ginaway niyang iyang hiripid kay para panguha sa iya malunggay, tapos example ito na tawo anak niyo niya, tapos diri ngayan ang iya hiripid ngay nanguha ang mga ragi ngayan. So dida nag-jump into conclusion dayon sa diri anay niya nagkakamayada, diri anay siya nagkakamayada anay patient para mamati anay sa mga yakan sa iya kapitbahay or bago niya i-judge iton. So bago siya mag-judge, nag-jump into conclusion dayon siya, so without knowing it first. So dida nagkakamayada barrier. Next, physical barrier. Physical distance. When people communicate over long distance, they miss out the non-verbal aspect of communication since the gesture and expression of the receiver cannot be interpreted. So physical distance, to make it short, kunwari ada ka sa school, ada sa school sa tansing ko, tas ikaw ada kala sa may gate sa school, may da ka ginsinyas nga diri ko naiintindihan kay harayo kit nga duha. So dida nagkakamay ada barrier san aton communication. Next, noise. The environment or communication system sometimes involve unwanted noise and interrupt the process of communication, making it insufficient. So this is one of the common barriers of communication. Kasi diba, we cannot communicate naman kung maari nga sa ang aton surroundings. Diba, kung maari nga sa dida nagkakamay ada talaga barrier sa noise kung maari nga sa aton surroundings. So next, physical barrier. One of the most barrier to effective communication is the physical disability of the people involved. Some of these are hearing impairment, poor insight, and stammering, etc. So like for example, diba, may dausa nga mga audience nga poor eyesight nga diri ka maaram, diri ngayon siya nakakakita, tapos nag-attend siya dida san imo kuan meeting, di ka namatila siya pero di ka maaram nga ito nga tao diri ngayon siya nakakita, tapos imo iton siya ging kampay. So dida nagkakamay ada barrier san iyo communication kay diba sige kala kampay tapos diri ngayon siya nakakakita sa imo. So nagkakamay ada barriers of communication. So iton lang po. That's all. Thank you. Thank you guys. Salamat sa pagpapamati.